Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. No. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I found out I was pregnant, how I felt, my emotions, all that stuff. And I'm also going to be sharing with you guys how I told my husband. So if you guys are interested, just go ahead and keep on watching. I'm about to get a little bit like TMI, but basically me and Jacob were not planning on having any children right now. We weren't like trying to get pregnant. We've talked about babies, of course, and always been so excited about the thought of a baby, but we never like said like right now is our time, like let's try. Like if anyone were to ask us, it was always like yeah, but not now, just not right now. And it's just because obviously I don't know, you just never know when you're ready, or you never feel like you're ready, you know what I mean? All of our families in Bakersfield, California, and we are in Maryland, so I don't really want to have a baby and be so far away from all my family, and neither does he. So like that was never like our plan. Back to how I got pregnant. Basically me and him, we wouldn't use condoms. I was on birth control for a very long time. I think it was just like 2 months that I was off of it. Basically I never went in to like refill my prescription, so I was off of it for like 2 months. But even while me and Jacob would have our intimate moments, it's always been, you know, pull-out method and me being on birth control. Like that was us for many years now. We've been married for 5 years, so that's how we've been doing it, and we've been good. But then for those 2 months that I was like off birth control, I want to say that's when it happened, because I'm pregnant now, duh. So then back to how I actually found out I was pregnant. So basically I used to have ovarian cysts, and those are like super freaking painful. Like if you've ever had that, you know what I'm talking about. It's so painful. And usually if I stop taking my birth control pills, I start getting that pain again, and then I'm always like scared that I might get them again, blah blah. Because when I first had ovarian cysts, I was in like high school, and they prescribed me birth control pills when I was like a senior in high school, in order to keep the cysts like away. Meanwhile, those 2 months I wasn't on birth control, and I had already made an appointment because I had so much pain, or my ovaries, just lower area, I had a lot of pain. So I was like, okay, I need to schedule an appointment. I need to get my birth control back on track, because like what if I'm getting ovarian cyst again? Like, you know, I just need to get back on track. This pain that I was getting was like so sharp, to the point where like it would take my breath away, legit. Like I couldn't even breathe during that pain, and it would last me like it felt like 3 minutes, but it was probably only like a minute. But it was just like a minute of pain, and I couldn't move. And sometimes like you just couldn't move. Like it hurt so bad I couldn't move. Like at that time I was working at Forever 21, and like randomly while I would be checking someone out, I'm like, oh fuck, like, you know, just holding my stomach there, because like it would just hurt. Like these pains would literally hurt. So it's one sign for me that something was going wrong. But in my head I never thought pregnancy, so I was thinking it was ovarian cyst coming back because I didn't, you know, I wasn't on birth control. So after that I started to notice that my period hadn't come either. And I wasn't really too worried about that, because honestly my period is very irregular to begin with. So that's another reason why I was always on birth control, because my period would like never freaking come. So then my period never came, and I was just like kind of waiting for it. And I know sometimes it takes longer, so I didn't really mind it. I'm like, it'll come soon. Like sometimes my period is just like retarded. One night me and Jacob are like, you know, doing a little thing. I start bleeding like after, and it was kind of a lot of blood, kinda, but I was just like, oh my god, like there's my period, it finally came, like woo, you know what I mean? Like okay, my period's here, like good. And it wasn't painful. It's not like I was like in pain or anything. We just ended up bleeding. Thought that was my period. I'm like, okay, thank god, like my period finally came, like cool. Then my doctor's appointment was like 2 days after that day. So after the bleeding situation, the next 2 days there was no blood, like none at all, like not even spotting. It was just that one night blood came, the next day nothing, and the next day after that nothing. And then it was my doctor's appointment, so I was like, that's so weird. I thought that was my period. I was like telling Jacob like, I'm not bleeding anymore, so like I don't know, like I don't know what's going on. So I'm getting that pain. My period like really never came. Then I'm bleeding during intercourse. So there was just so much stuff I wanted to tell my OBGYN. And also to get back on birth control. So my appointment, she's asking me how's everything, and I'm like letting her know about my past ovary situation, that I used to have like ovarian cyst, and that usually when I'm off the pill, like I start getting these pains again, and all this stuff. So I'm just explaining to her like what's going on. Also wanted to do like a pap smear, like a full-on checkup, check everything out and all that stuff. So we do that. As you girls know, pap smears are not really fun. You know, they're kind of painful, uncomfortable for the most part, and no fun, right? I'm there getting my pap smear done. Yeah, it's more painful that time than it has ever been, and I've gotten a couple pap smears done in my life. So that one was just so painful to the point that I like was crying, like, and I'm telling you guys, my pap smears never hurt or are that uncomfortable to the point where tears are coming out of my eyes. So I'm like laying there getting the pap smear done, and she's going so light-handed with whatever the fuck, the Q-tip, swab, whatever, and everything she's doing, I'm just like holding like my hands like so tight, like in a fist, like because it was so painful, and I just like couldn't take it, and I just wanted it to be over, honestly. Like it just hurt so bad. I don't know why, it was just, it hurt so bad. Okay, after she's all done and she pulls out the thing, you know, she sees that there's blood. What did she say? Like it might be like from that last time that I bled, blah blah blah, that maybe just getting me back on birth control will just help, you know, regulate my stuff. And they also had me do like a urine test and stuff. So like before she leaves the room, I ask her like if everything's okay down there, like does everything look okay. I was like, you know, because me and Jacob have been together since, for a very long time, since high school, since I was like 14. We've just been, you know, together sexually for a very long time. Like we never had like a pregnancy scare or anything like that. So I just wanted to know if like everything looked okay, like if I ever wanted to have babies, I could have babies, because in my head at that moment I always thought like I probably can't have children. Like me and Jacob have been at this for a while, and like there's never been a chance of me like getting pregnant. So I always just like to ask if like I look good down there, if like everything's, you know, good. So yeah, she tells me yeah, everything's fine, there's no issue. I'm like okay, good. And she like walks out. After she leaves, she has me get dressed. I get dressed and I wait for her in like the office, and then she calls me aside and she's like, you tested positive. I was like, positive? Like I thought like HIV positive, like because they were gonna do like blood tests and stuff like that, and they did a urine test, and I don't know, my first thing was not that I'm pregnant, because like I said, me and Jacob always use the pull-out method. It's never been anything other than that, like pull-out method and me on birth control. So that was like not the very first thing I thought about. That was like my first thing, like immediate thing. I'm like, oh my god, like wow, you know, I just couldn't understand like what the fuck. So then she's like, no, like you tested positive for pregnancy. And when I tell you, like when she told me that, after just asking her if I can even have children, and then for her to tell me, bitch, you're pregnant, I was just like so shocked, like so shocked, to the point where like I just like, she's like, I'll be right back, that she's gonna have to do like, she's gonna go get the ultrasound machine ready and she's gonna check me out. And I'm just like, okay, like okay, that's all I said to her. Literally was just like okay. And then she walks away and she leaves me alone for like maybe a minute or two while she like sets up the room, and I just start crying. Like I just started crying, and I felt like anxiety kind of. I felt so scared. And then the first thing I wanted to do was obviously like tell my mom, tell my sister. I just wanted to tell my family, tell Jacob. Like, I just wanted to tell someone at that moment because like I just didn't know what to do. And I'm just waiting there and I'm like crying, and then I started smiling out of nowhere because I'm like, what? Like, I just asked like about this, and I don't know, like I just didn't know how to feel. I felt like overwhelmed. I felt scared. I felt shocked. I felt like I wanted to have anxiety. Like my heart couldn't stop beating. I just kept crying. And then as soon as I saw the lady come back, like I cut the tears. I'm like, okay, like, you know, do this. I was like, okay, like relax. So I stopped crying. She comes in. She's like, okay, lay down, like, you know. And I'm just like, just shocked. So okay, I'm laying down and she's doing like an ultrasound on me, and the whole time I'm just like thanking God, like, oh my gosh, like thank you, like, for allowing me to be able to be pregnant. Like, that's the only thing I can like think of. Like, I was just thanking him. So as soon as she's like checking me, she shows me that I have a sac, and that just made stuff a little bit more real for me at that moment, because to just hear that like you're pregnant, like, so then yeah, she shows me like, yeah, you already have a sac, like the baby is probably like microscopic right now, like we can't see it, but you definitely like are pregnant. And obviously she couldn't tell me like how far along I was, because I didn't even know when my last period was, because my period is so irregular. So she couldn't actually tell me like how far along I was, but she just took like a random guess, and she was like, I want to say you're about like 4 to 5 weeks. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, so like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to keep my baby. You know, like, I don't know, I guess that's what they ask you, but like, yeah, I ended up saying that. And she's like, okay, well, we have to get you in for like a checkup and this day, blah blah. So we set that up, and it was still just like, I don't know, I couldn't even like get it through my head. Like, I don't know, it didn't really feel real. It didn't feel real. Then Jacob was also texting me, asking me how everything was, like, am I okay, like, what did the doctor say? And I'm just in my car like, you don't even know like what just happened. Like, I wanted to just tell him, and I wanted to just tell my sister and everybody. I literally just wanted to tell someone, you know. And then I started to think about it, because I had already got to my car, and I was just sitting there like kind of crying, and still crying out of excitement and fear and all those emotions. Tried calling one of my best friends. Her name is Lily. She actually has 2 babies. Her baby will be born any day now. It's already past her due date, so I knew she already has, you know, experience with all this. And plus, she called me when she first found out about both of her babies, so like I just like knew I wanted to call her. So I called her, and I'm just like, dude, like, you know, blah blah, I'm pregnant, we're talking about it. She's so excited, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do after this? Like, nobody explained to me at the GYN, like, what do you do like after you find out like you're pregnant? Like, I didn't even know I had to go get prenatal pills. Like, thank God I called my friend, because she like told me everything I should be doing. That helped me a lot. And then whatever, we got off the phone, and I just started to think about how I was going to tell Jacob, because obviously I didn't want to just come home and be like, I'm pregnant, and like have no like evidence whatsoever. I didn't even have like a test or nothing, or I didn't even have like a picture of the ultrasound of like the sac. Like, I had nothing. And like was like, okay, well, I have to get myself together, and I have to go home and act like I didn't just find out what I just found out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, ugh, it was hard. So then I get out of my car, and I get home, and I hug Jacob, and he's like, how'd it go? And like, I literally just wanted to cry in his arms and just like tell him, but I wanted it to be, you know, special. I kept thinking about it. I think I found out in December, yeah, I was pregnant. And then me and Jacob, 5-year anniversary married, was on the 26th of December. So that would have been like 3 weeks of waiting to tell him I'm pregnant, to tell him on that day. And I was like, I can't even do it for like a day. Like, I'm already struggling. I want to just tell him. Like, I felt like I was like hiding something. Well, I was hiding something from him, but it was just like, it was too hard. Like, I couldn't wait that long. And I thought it'd be so cute to give it to him as like a Christmas gift. Like, I just had so many ideas, but I wanted to tell him like ASAP. Like, I couldn't even wait that whole day. I just felt so guilty, and I don't know, I just wanted to say it, you know, because if I didn't, I felt like it just wasn't real. Like, it just wasn't real. I just felt like that. So then that night, I told him I had to go to Target to like get something. So I go to Target and I got like baby socks. I think I got like a baby bottle, and they were all like gender neutral colors. So it's just like white, gray, stuff like that. And then I've got like a little basket. I put everything in there, and then I also got a dry erase board and a pregnancy test. That way I had some type of proof to show my husband that I was actually pregnant and not like pranking him. So I buy all that, I come in, and he's on the game, so like I get to like hide all the stuff that I just bought. And that night I'm just telling him like, tomorrow I have a surprise for you, I have a surprise. And Jacob most likely didn't think anything of it, because I told him that like, oh yeah, they said everything's good, like they prescribed me my birth control, I'm gonna go pick it up tomorrow. So he's not thinking that I'm pregnant at all. And plus, I always have surprises for Jacob, to be honest. Like, I love doing surprises, so he doesn't even think anything of it. The next morning I wake up so early. I want to say it was like 7 o'clock, which is early for me because I don't wake up that early, neither does Jake. And I had already set up everything. I took my test, and my pregnancy test in the morning, and it was all the way, it was positive. So I put that all the way at the bottom of the basket. I put the baby clothes and stuff on top, and then I have the dry erase board, and it said, our adventure begin. Like, I set my camera up to like record his reaction. I set up my little box. I think I even got him a little card, and I wrote something there for him. Morning when I woke up, I was like so dizzy. Like, I woke up like dizzy and like such like a big headache. Like, I just felt like shit, to be honest. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, she just told me I'm pregnant, and all of a sudden I'm feeling sick. Like, I legit started like, sorry, my boobs are itchy. They're always itchy. Always itchy. Okay, so anyways, I end up setting everything up, and then I go wake up Jacob. I'm like, come on, come out. You have to come see like my surprise. So I guess I'll just go ahead and input the footage here. Are you dying?
Make me happy. Help me be a better person to be who I am. Give me so much to look forward to every day. Make me happy when I could imagine. Is anyone doing?
Okay, close your eyes. No, don't open until I tell you. This is important. Okay.
What is this? You're a liar. You're hella lying. You're hella lying.
I'm not lying to you.
You're lying.
I'm not.
We're having a baby?
Check. I wish I had the ultrasound. They gave me an ultrasound. I'm 4 weeks pregnant.
Are
And
you
I didn't even
really?
know. Yeah.
Baby?
That's crazy. Oh, I wanted to tell you so bad yesterday.
I can't believe it.
Let me see.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. it's crazy, and it's because we're literally gonna go home, and that's what we had whatever talked about. But we were like, no, like it's still too soon. Like,
Yeah.
but I guess the good thing about it is that we'll be home.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
I know.
That's scary. Whatever. That's crazy. This isn't one of your pranks, right?
No, I promise. Why would I prank you?
I don't know.
This is real. I took this morning. Alright, so yeah, this was the way I told Jacob. As you guys can tell, like we both look kind of nervous, scared, but we're also like so happy. So yeah, that pretty much sums up how I found out I was pregnant and how I told my husband. But we're both overly excited. I'm now currently today 18 weeks pregnant. I'm almost 20 weeks, and at 20 weeks you find out the gender, but I think we're gonna keep it a secret for now. So we're actually moving back to California, and I'm gonna be leaving in April and Jacob's gonna be leaving in May. So we're most likely gonna save the gender reveal and the baby shower and all that stuff for when we get back home with all of our family. So definitely look out for those videos because I'll definitely be recording all of it. I'm definitely planning on doing another video and talking about how my first trimester went and how I felt and what helped me, because as you guys heard, the day after she told me that I was pregnant, I legit started to feeling the first trimester things. Also, I'm going to show you guys a little bump update. Alright you guys, so here is the bump update. Slowly getting bigger. Alright you guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!